The West Asia region is still on the edge as the U.S. conducted strikes on Iran for the 9th consecutive evening. This was followed by a fierce retaliation by Tehran, even as Iranian President Masoud Pezeshkian stressed that his country was fighting a full-scale war with the U.S. Both sides hinted at pursuing talks. In a fresh escalation, Yemen's Iran-backed Houthis announced a maritime embargo on Saudi Arabia. Last week, hostilities between the two sides escalated after Houthis accused Riyadh of launching airstrikes against the international airport in Sana'a. In retaliation, it fired missiles at the international airport in Saudi Arabia's Abha. A closure of the Bab al-Mandeb Strait by Houthis will imply a new threat to energy supplies, as nearly 7% of global crude oil transits through this strait.
First, the Yemeni armed forces declare a maritime embargo against the criminal Saudi enemy based on the equation of an eye for an eye, effective immediately upon the issuance of this statement.
A few hours earlier, CENTCOM conducted airstrikes on Iran to diminish its ability to attack vessels in the Strait of Hormuz. The U.S. claimed to have targeted Iranian military command centers, air defense and coastal surveillance sites and communication networks. According to U.S. President Donald Trump, these strikes were carried out in honor of the U.S. military personnel killed in recent days. As of now, the death toll of confirmed American fatalities in Iran is 18. Iran claimed to have shot down an MQ-9 Reaper drone over the city of Avaz. Footage released by the IRGC of its attacks on West Asia showed missiles bearing this message, and I quote, "Anyone who destabilizes the security of the Iranian people will not themselves be safe either." Meanwhile, air raid sirens were sounded in Kuwait City as residents and visitors continued moving through the area. Kuwait's military stated that it was responding to a fresh round of missiles and drones unleashed by Iran. Iran also announced that 2 oil tankers which attempted to enter and exit the Strait of Hormuz through an unsafe and hazardous route exploded and were brought to a halt. The IRGC has warned that this strategic waterway will remain unsafe for transit forever for even a single drop of oil and gas, as long as America's aggression continues. At the same time, Iran revealed that diplomatic exchanges with the United States via mediators was ongoing. According to Reuters, mediators have proposed a 10-day cessation of strikes to revive the MoU signed by Iran and the U.S.
Proposals have been put forward and conveyed to us by the mediators. We have received them, but please excuse me from going into their details. However, the main point that the diplomatic apparatus has been active and that ideas from some mediators have reached us is confirmed.
A day earlier, Secretary of State Marco Rubio also showed America's willingness for a diplomatic settlement, even as he called on other countries to join efforts to protect the safety of vessels in the Strait of Hormuz. When asked about a potential U.S. ground invasion, Iran issued a stern warning to America. It also urged United Nations nuclear watchdog, the IAEA, to condemn U.S. strikes on the under-construction Dakhovin nuclear power plant in southwest Iran.
They will see the consequences. I think there are people in those regions, and their number is not small, and they are looking forward to welcoming those guys.
With both sides keeping the diplomatic option open, is a temporary halt in hostilities in the offing, or are the differences too too difficult to breach. America and Iran's future course of action will be closely watched.